low point control. It's probably one of the most popular topics that people talk about nowadays. How do I get the low point of my swing to be at or after the golf ball? Wonderful question. Glad you asked it. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. Tell your friends about what we've got going on over here. I want to show you a very, very simple drill for you. And it requires nothing. You've got extra shoes that you don't wear. You know what you're going to do? You're going to do what I do. And you're going to peel out a shoelace. Now, not everybody has a yellow shoelace. I know you got to be special to get a yellow shoelace. But you can use white. It's still highly effective. And what you're going to do is you're just going to tie a little knot in here so you can slide a T through there. And then you're going to do the same thing with the other side. And you take 2 T's, just like this. You're going to put it through there and put it through there. This drill, by the way, will never get old. You can never do this too much, and you can never do, like, this would be a drill that you should do every single week, every single month, every single year you play, because low point control is critical to predictability in distance and obviously in success of the shot that you're trying to hit, right? So you put that shoelace down perpendicular to where you're trying to go. And what I like to do is start out with that, for me, when I'm doing this, 1 club head in front of the shoelace with the golf ball. Now, I'm not going to do this and make a mistake here because I don't want to go pick up the tees and the lace and everything. But when you are, and this is what most people typically do, so what you are typically doing is you're hitting behind the golf ball, which is where you're going to hit that shoelace, and then that shoelace is going to go flying all over the place. Now, one of the reasons why I love this drill is when you hit a shoelace, it's not going to hurt you. You're not going to the hospital because you hit a shoelace, okay? What you want to do is set up with the ball where you would normally play it. So 6-iron I've got here. Actually, 5-iron is what I've got here. So it's a little bit forward of center, so right there. And then what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to make sure that I swing and I miss the shoelace. Now, what you have to do to miss the shoelace will vary. But most typically, what's causing you to struggle with missing that shoelace is your wrist activity is happening too soon. So you find that you're hitting that shoelace, your wrist activity is happening here instead of happening up here. So when you get in and do this drill, have an awareness of what's happening with your wrist, right? And people say, oh yeah, they're throwing it at the top of the swing. You're casting. That's where that came from, casting, which is like casting for fishing. So you cast out this way. Well, this is going to happen in every golf swing. The question is, where is it going to happen? I don't want it to happen here. I don't want it to happen here. I don't want it to happen here. I want it to happen here. Now, as you think about it happening here, it's gradually happening in the downswing. But you don't want to feel the abruptness of the wrist activity until you're at or after the golf ball. And as you're learning to do this, I would strive on getting it to happen after the golf ball. So you're in here like this, and then just feel the wrist activity happening over here. Just like that. And now, we're going to put the ball in there. Now, you might feel a little intimidated at first. It's okay. If you do, then just move the ball another half a club face ahead of the string. So now now I'm at 2 club heads in front. And now I'm going to go. And really good strike. And the key to that is I see the shoelace right where it was. So now you move it back. And you go, now I'm just going to do a club and a ball. So right there, so it's going to come back to about right there. So that's a little bit more than a club head. You can see that there. So I'm a little bit more than a club head. And now go. If it's a little bit of a tinny shot, a little bit of a thin shot, you keep going where that is until you get it solidly. Assume that you got it solidly. Now you go back to 1 club head. And I am a huge believer in practice motions. I really am. I think you're going to get a greater feel when the ball is out of the way. because now all of a sudden your brain can start to visualize. You don't have to swing really fast. There's no target that you're trying to hit it to. All you're trying to do is target the strike and feel what's happening with your wrists. So in here like this, practice motion, good wrist activity late. And now we do the same thing. I'm not swinging fast. Okay, that was also really good. I didn't swing fast. Now we keep it here. I don't want you to go any farther back, okay? What I want you to do is now when you get it to where you can swing the club, say 50% of your speed, and you're not hitting that, now we're going to amp up the speed, okay? So turn it up a little bit, and let's get into maybe 80%. So practice swing again. Good. Ball speed on that one was 103. Let's see if I can't get that thing to maybe 110. That one feels like it might be a little bit faster than that even still, because that one there was a really good strike. Again, I didn't hit the lace. The ball took off. That ball speed was 114, so a little bit stronger than that. And one of the things that I pay attention to when I do this is the vertical launch angle. My vertical launch angle when I do this drill is always lower than what I play at. That's at 14 degrees right there, okay? So really good strike. Really good ball speed there, 114 degrees, and the launch angle was low, which is what I want. I want solid strikes, low launch angles. Now I'm going to try to amp this thing up to maybe 90%. Okay, body's getting a little bit more involved in this, and I feel that wrist activity very, very late. That was absolutely destroyed. And again, oh, look at that. That went out there. Let's see what that distance, now the last one was 177. This is what I play my 5-iron at. It carries about 185, maybe 190, ball speed up to 122. Launch angle goes to 13. So I'm not chucking it. By the way, pull that shot full, Gibbsy. Look at that. I can't walk that straight. That tells you how good that club face position was as I hit that. And by the way, the apex is down to about 70 feet. That's because I did such a good job hanging on to that. Now, after you've done that, and this is something I would do if I were you, take this string. You don't need to worry about the tees, but you're going to take this string and you're going to keep it in your bag. It's going to be highly effective for you in improving that low point control. Now what we're going to do is we're going to imagine that, and I like yellow because it's easy to see it, so I can see that line right there. White's very good with after image as well, but you want to visualize that, and then once you get in there, now we're going to take a practice swing. See that low point move forward. Now this should launch higher than 13 degrees. It should apex higher than 70 feet, okay? Okay, so that's a really good strike. You can see that's already higher than the one that I hit prior. About the same distance, so that tells you that it was a very good strike, and this is perfect. So ball speed again, 122, very good shot, love that. The ball went out the same distance total, but it carried another 3 yards. Why? Because it didn't launch at 13, it launched at 16.6, call it 17 degrees in the launch, which is typically where I like to see that with my 5 and 6 iron, and then my apex goes up to 90 feet. That drill is going to help you tremendously. Make sure you get that shoelace, tie those knots in there, use those tees, practice with it, keep it on you at all times, literally in the bag, all times. Start out with that when you practice. I'm telling you, you'll develop consistency, predictability, and you're going to have a golf swing where the low point is right where it should be, at or after the golf ball, and that's when you really start enjoying this game. To improve all parts of your game, subscribe to my channel and click the link below.